Hey guys, it's Forte, November 2nd, 2023, 1:55 p.m. I just scanned over 823 stocks. A little camera shy this morning, so no camera for me. And I stopped making video around September, so it's around this area. And you guys know what happened since then. The IWM dropped about 15%. Okay, the QQQ dropped about, I think it was around this area, about 8%, and the S&P. Actually, it's from here, sorry. The S&P dropped about 9.76%. The market has been doing really bad. Yesterday, I sent a tweet and a YouTube community post, and I think I did it on my Discord as well, that we're likely going to see a rally here yesterday. And we gap higher today above the 20-day moving average and the SPY. And on the QQQ, I think we got above the 20-day, almost the 50-day. IWM, it's still a mess. It's touching the 20-day moving average. And it's not the time to get really super aggressive, but I do have a couple of names I think it's worth buying, regardless of what you say. This could be a bounce in a downtrend. But while everybody's afraid to buy, I think there are opportunities out there actually starting to show up. Not a lot, but there's a couple. First one is HNRG. It's a, sorry guys, let me mute my desktop. Okay. This is a, sorry. This is a coal stock, right? And I actually have gotten a small position. I didn't recommend, I didn't make a video because I knew the chance of it failing was really high. I bought the stock around on September 22nd. And ever since then, the stock has come up about 15%. And I've been observing it. And I've been testing it for you guys right now so far. And it's acting really well if you look at the, weekly. If you look at the weekly chart, it corrected no more than 10%, and then try to break higher, but the market kind of flopped around that area. And the stock in the last about couple weeks before the big move went up about 68%. You could say if you calculate from the bottom here, it's about 70%. I think this stock is worth a buy, and if you look at it on the weekly chart, every single week it kind of closed within this range, and it's neither a good thing or a bad thing. It is a good thing that buyers are buying it up, but it's also a bad thing that sellers are selling the stock. But we do have one thing in our favor, which is the trend of the stock, which is going higher, which means that people are buying the stock. If you look at the volume profile, we have a higher volume here on this day, higher volume on this day, and these green days are all higher volume than the week that it had a consolidation, which is this week, right? So I think it's not a bad thing. Well, it's not the best idea that this week's volume was higher than the previous week's volume because it was a sell week. But other than that, the stock didn't, even with a volume like that, it wasn't a crazy big volume. The stock didn't flop. Usually what happens is sellers just cannot stop themselves and the stock just go down like crazy. But that didn't happen. We're below the 20-day moving average, which is good. If you take a look at the 15-day moving average, we're still kind of going down with a 5-day moving average. We need to see this thing consolidate for a little bit. Maybe next entire week it goes flat and then it sets up a buy. That's HNRG. Another stock I like to bring to the table is CRS. If you take a look at the stock on the weekly chart, or the monthly chart even, we're actually only about, I believe, 15% away from all-time high. Yeah, 15.17% from all-time high. And sorry guys if I sound a little weird. I'm like getting a little sick nowadays. It's getting really cold. The weather changing, like the temperature is crazy here in the Mideast. The stock got below the 50-day moving average after recently it made a high on October. And then now it's just gapped right above the 50-day and the 20-day moving average. If we take a look at the 15-minute chart, this thing kind of tried to make bounce. Like it was on below the 5-day moving average. This is where you want to avoid the stock. It got above it and then we bounced and it kind of got ahead of itself and then consolidated around the 5-day moving average. And it would have been a buy here 64, but I wasn't able to catch it, so I actually bought the stock as it break above $65 this morning. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I still think it's within the buy range as long as you're within about 5 to 3%. You're playing for the long term. I think this stock you can play it a little bit to the longer side, maybe even 5 months, 6 months. Not sure. The reason I say that because it's because the fundamental of the stock is doing really well. The earnings per share It's all in the triple digits compared to the previous year, growth wise. The sales is doing well, it's growing, and what the stock does is that it manufacture and distribute metals, including nickel, titanium, all those kind of things. And war is currently going on in Ukraine and Israel with Palestine. I'm not gonna bring the politics to the table, but just saying that it's happening. And I think we should play around. Sounds kind of bad. Like we're making profiting off war. We're not. We're just buying stock, trying to make a living. That's it. And yeah, that's pretty much a video. And if like I said, this rally here could very likely just be just flop in the next couple of days. But you cannot ignore rallies, because if you do, what if in the next 5 years we're in the market that's going up and down, that doesn't go higher or lower? You need to be able to find a way to be profitable in this industry, even if the market is not doing well. You can either short, which to be honest, I am okay at it. I'm not the best. I suck at it. Actually, let's just be honest. I suck at it. I think SMCI, I shorted this thing. Like, I'm good at finding short stocks, right? But I have trouble holding it. I shorted the stock here, and then I have trouble holding through it because it bounces up. I was just like, maybe the market's gonna rally again. I have this. My brain works really optimistically. I always think that the future is gonna be better, so the stock market is gonna be better. But that's why and anyway, that's basically because why I cannot hold stocks for short. Just too optimistic. Every time there's a rally, I think maybe this is a turn, but this in the end would have worked out for a pretty good short, but I couldn't do it. That's why I suck at shorting. So let's focus on long. So if I'm focusing on long, I gotta find a way to make a profit even in a bear market. And I believe that's possible by selecting extremely very few elite stocks, such as, take a look at last year, not last year, but throughout this year, we had Elf. This thing went up like crazy. I couldn't be able to buy at the very right here. I kind of missed it. This thing went up 325% within that year in a bear market. Another stock is SMCI. This stock rallied. We go from here. Pretty much went up 750% in this bear market. So you don't blame the environment. It's your problem if you're not making money. And I'm trying my best to make money in this bear market as well. And a couple of stocks I mentioned: CRS, HNRG. I hope these things, do your own research, not just because I told you to buy. That's like, if I tell you to buy and you buy it, you're gonna go broke. Okay, let's be honest. Do your own research, have your own strategy, and buy the stock. Okay, I don't really have a strategy to provide. I know people on YouTube do. I think they're all terrible videos and terrible knowledge. You should never teach somebody your strategy, because it doesn't work for them. It's like teaching them how to shit, I can't think of an example. You guys get the joke. It's like everybody is different, telling a fish to climb a tree, you can't do that. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.